I got the carb back on. I got the vacuum caps on all the ports that aren't being used. We'll hit the choke. Got the battery all charged up last couple days. So I'll just jump it and see. I just got home from work. We'll see how easy it starts up. It's 100% freezing cold. It's 45 in here, so it's been sitting in the 45-degree garage, so it's not freezing cold, but it's definitely hasn't been started today. So we'll just see if it'll fire up. First hit with the choke pulled. Turn the choke off. She's running super rich. I need to put a different jet in it, but starts right up. There's the choke off. Fires right up. It's running super rich. Took it out for a little rip, just up maybe 1 or 2 houses up my road and back the other day, and it's got tons of low end power, but as soon as I crack the throttle open all the way, it just runs so rich it just loses all its power. So I need to down jet it just a couple times and see if I can get it to run a little cleaner. It seems to run pretty good other than being a little rich. So oil cooler, none of the fittings are leaking at all. It seems to be good. I got no drops, no leaks. For the catch can, I got that one coming off, the dipstick that goes here. This one comes out the motor, and then I got the breather tube just kind of wrapped under and then coming out right here so it shoots out to the side. Need a new battery still, but I charged this one up the last couple days with this little itty bitty battery tender thing, and it's finally up to 12 volts. So, but yeah, I need to take it up and down the street a few more times, get a smaller jet in the carb, see if I can get that worked out. It's a lot rich right now, too rich. But that's the 30 millimeter carb with just the way it came out of the box. I haven't touched it, so changed the oil. It's got fresh oil in it. So I mean, other than getting the carb messed with, it's ready to rock. I just bought a 5-pack of these taillights. They just showed up today, so I'm gonna bring them out here and test them and see if this taillight itself is bad or if I have some wiring somewhere that's bad, because when I hooked my old one back up, I had a running light and a brake light wired the same way this one is, so I think it's just taillight itself, which isn't a big deal. So I'm gonna go grab those and see if I can get those things wired up. Alright, so here's the new taillights. So I got this one, which you can see is a little bit different than these ones. These ones have the little different blinker section on the side, but I got 4 of these ones. I got 1 of these, or 2 of these, I don't remember, but I'm just going to hook them up to some power, see what ones are brighter, what ones look better, and then just kind of pick from there. I bought a bunch just in case, you know, something happens, I need to swap it out. I don't have to order it, I'll have it right away. And it was like $20 for 5 of these things, so not a big deal. So I'm just going to test these quick and see what one I like better. Alright, so it turns out my light was garbage. I don't know if it was because maybe I spiked voltage and blew it out. I don't know. I never saw it work, so I'm not sure if it was that issue or not. But I just tested the first light I pulled out. Seems to be working. So now when I turn my lights on, headlight, we got the running light. If I hit the brake, we got the brake light. So it's doing what it should. Headlight, tail light, brake light. So all that's good. Turn the key back off. Make sure this light's nice and tight. Now I will put the battery charger back on because I was running lights and testing things for a while, and it took like 4 days for this battery to charge all the way with this 1-amp charger. It's pretty embarrassing, honestly, but it's $15, so what do you do? So we'll just put this back on. We'll just keep this on whenever we're not riding, so we always got So I always got juice. So I don't have to charge a battery up, wait for the headlights to work or anything. Just always be ready. That was the bike firing up with the electric start, and like I said before, I'm not going to wire an electric start to a switch or anything. And then I'm going to buy a smaller jump box, obviously like one that fits in your pocket. If kickstarting it doesn't work or whatever, I'll just plug the positive into this, ground it anywhere. You see me ground it onto the shift or the kickstart, it worked fine. Crank it over and be good. So that's just how I'm going to run my electric start if I do decide to use it. But other than that, I'll be kicking it for the most part. So that's how that's going to go. This thing, I have to put some new tubes and tires on it because tires are flat. Tire's pretty bald, so I'm going to order some stuff for that. It's not mine, I'm just fixing it. And then I picked up something that I've always wanted. I think even before I even wanted a CT70, I always wanted a ZB50, but they're so hard to find, at least in my area. Been looking for a couple years, waiting for one to pop up so I could buy it. Haven't found nothing. Found a couple here and there, but they're so expensive. I wasn't going to spend that kind of money. So I got the next best thing. I got a ZB50 clone. This is like the SkyTeam version. So let's see. This is a 2015 SkyTeam. I think it's called like a Mini Monster or something like that. But it's exactly a replica of a ZB50. All the parts from a ZB50 will fit this. This thing had a 190 on it. I got this from Billy. This is where he got his 190 from. It was on this bike. He pulled the motor off and didn't want this anymore, so I picked it up. But this thing is complete. I mean, it's got all the wiring, it's got a battery, it's got everything. All it needs is a motor. Motor, chain, that's about it. And then I'm going to put obviously some Pro Taper bars or some fly bars on here, some new bars. All the gauges work, the blinkers work, the lights work. But obviously I'm going to do like an LED headlight, probably LED taillight. Get some flush mount blinkers, like this one's kind of broken, it's been glued. But it's got a title, it's got everything. It uses the same wheels and hubs as a CT70. This is just an exhaust bracket from the exhaust that was on it. But it's got these cool front and rear fenders. I like the low-rise rear fender these have, like the Groms. But the frame's actually really nice. It's all, I don't know if it's powder coated or just kind of wrinkle painted or what. But yeah, I got this thing. The controls are all there, brakes are all there. It's got disc brakes in the front. It's pretty much the same front end I have right here. Almost exactly 100% the same. Only difference is my other front end doesn't have these little tabs for this fender, but the brakes are all the same, the forks are all the same. So I mean, all this thing needs is a motor, that's it. Drop a motor on it, put a chain on it, put some foot pegs on it, kickstand, some new bars, a couple new lights, and this thing will be ready to rock. I've been wanting to buy this thing for a while. I finally picked it up, so this is going to be the new project. I think this thing's pretty cool. I rode it when I had the 190 on it. It was a blast. So my plan is only going to put a 140 on it, because these things come with a 125, basically like a Grom. I'm probably going to do the 140 unless at the time when I buy a motor I can afford a 190, then I'll do a 190. But I think the 140 would be perfect for this thing. Still get up to 60 miles an hour, do some wheelies on it, whatever. But yeah, this is the 2015 Mini Monster, whatever it's called. I don't even know. And yeah, I'm probably just going to leave it the way it is, like wheels and tires for now. The rear tire's a little bit bigger than the front. The wheels are fine, brakes are fine, frame's fine. Probably not paint nothing, just leave it the way it is. I think I'm going to do the same exhaust I used to have on the CT70, where it comes down and it's got that big like moto pipe that comes up this way. Might do something like that. I'm going to keep it kind of cheap for now, just kind of get it running, get it registered, get it on the road. But I think this thing's pretty cool. Motor mounts right here. But yeah, this is the new project. I'm not really in a hurry to get started on this thing. I mean, all I need is a motor, so it's not a big deal, but I'm probably going to wait at least a couple weeks. We'll see, but in a couple weeks or so I'll order a 140 or a 190, whatever whatever I can afford at the time, and pop it on here. I still have my Mikuni 26 from when I had my 140 on the CT, and this thing runs the 140 absolutely like flawlessly. That's the one I ran for like 4 years on my bike. It's tuned perfect, runs great, rips. So hopefully when I get the 140, I can just pop the 22 it comes with off, pop the 26 on there, and it should just be ready to rock. So, but yeah, this is the new Grom wannabe. I think it's badass. I've wanted a ZB for like the longest time, but they're just so hard to find, so I figured this is the next best thing. So Billy hooked me up with this. He wasn't going to do anything with it. He just wanted the motor off of it, so I'm going to turn it into a little beast. Do some wheelies on this thing. Red pit bike. I want to keep it, but I also don't. Just because I have other things I want to buy. I want to buy a new computer, a new camera, so that I can get editing like 5.3K and 4K videos faster, because my computer is just, it's from like 2010, and it doesn't take that high resolution stuff very good. Gets hot, gets slow. But so if I do sell a red bike, it'll be for a new camera, a new computer. I'm gonna build a computer, and I'm gonna buy probably a 360 camera, so we can get some cool videos. Put the 360 camera anywhere you want. You can get any angle you want at any time. It's not just what I'm looking at. So I think that'll be pretty sweet for not everything, but a lot of things. So I'm waiting for Best Buy to get those in stock. Should be within like the next week. I'm going to pick one of those up and then try to get a new computer to handle everything the camera can do. But yeah, so CT done, minus just tuning the carb, and I got to mount my license plate still. Picked this up last night. Pretty stoked about it. And then the one video, we were at Billy's shop riding the pit bikes inside and outside. He just got a new shop, same place but a bigger shop. It's big enough to we were having pit bike and four-wheeler races inside the shop last night, with a boat, with a car, with 5 snowmobiles. Everything's still in the shop. It's still enough room to have some indoor pit bike races. I didn't bring my camera, but I got a little bit on like cell phone. So I'll pop those in here if I can get them from my phone to my computer. Next time we go, I'll bring my pit bike, and we'll bring the camera, and we'll do some indoor pit bike races. We both crashed a bunch of times. I put a hole in his trash can. I put his pit bike on top of his snowmobile because the throttle stuck. But it was fun. We rode for like 4 hours. I'm super sore today just from riding pit bikes inside the shop. But yeah, I just came out here to clean the garage a little bit. It is gross outside right now. Not super stoked about that. It's just snowing, it's windy, people crashing all over the place on my way home. But other than the carb and mounting my license plate, that thing is 100% done, so I'm pretty stoked on that. Been working on it all winter. I mean, I tore the thing down to get powder coated in like, what? I don't even know. November? Beginning of December? I don't know. So it's been a couple months since I've been messing with it. Still got these fresh wheels, which will fit on this if I decide to put them on there, which I think the black and the white wheels would look pretty cool, but these already have tubes and tires. They're already good to go. I don't feel like pulling those apart, so I might just throw tubes in these tires together, and then I'll have a spare set for this or a spare set for the CT, whatever decides to get a flat tire first or something. But yeah, so this summer we'll have the 212 CT we'll be ripping. the 140 or 190 ZB clone. And then I have this thing for sale, and a lot of people have messaged me about it, but nobody's actually came to get it. So maybe we'll even keep this now for like Tuesday night pit bike races at Billy's shop, because that was a blast. Or on the weekends when more people can come, because we can have probably 4 pit bikes or something. We'll have 2 88cc ones, 149cc one. The 88cc one actually is like too much power for in there because the floor is kind of dusty, so when you hit the corners, you basically got to like drift the corner and then gun it in the straights, and you're spinning the tire the whole time. That's why we kept crashing. And then the 50 has no power, so you can take the corners faster, but it's slower on the straightaways. So it was pretty even just having the 88 and the 50. But maybe we'll even keep that for that, because that was a lot of fun. It's almost worth keeping this thing just to take it to the shop for the races inside, at least for winter. So when summer comes, you can race them outside or whatever. But yeah, that thing's done. This is the new project, which I'm pretty stoked about. That thing's still sitting there. Cleaned up a little bit, swept the floor, got a bunch of this place was a mess from getting this bike done. All right, I want to see how much this thing weighs. Fully loaded and ready to go. So let's zero out the scale. Pounds. She's zeroed out. Get her all the way in the air so she's hanging. There we go. Wait for it to settle. All right. Thing weighs 174 pounds on the dot. It's probably like, I don't know, I think there's like a half tank of gas in it. So with a 212 and everything and a half tank of gas, 174. So it'd probably be like 175, 176 with a full tank. But, so that's how much a fully loaded CT70 weighs. Only thing it's missing is my license plate, so maybe like a, I don't know, quarter of a pound for that whole bracket and license plate. But I was just kind of curious what it weighed with an actual accurate scale. So that's what she weighs. Got this thing kind of stripped down, got the tank off and everything. So I can kind of look at how the coil is mounted, the CDI, the voltage regulator, electric start. I'm probably not going to use electric start because I'm going to put a 140 on this. There's the battery. Plugs for the motor, a couple grounds. So that should be super easy. You got to take the tank off to put the motor in. You don't have to, but the carburetor sits like right here. It's not like these where you can just get to them. So I pulled it all off, so when I do get the motor, I can just slap it in, put my 26mm on it, bolt it up, get an exhaust, put a chain on it, and then hopefully just go ride it. But so not really gonna work on it anytime soon. Just kind of took a few things apart just to kind of look at it. I never really worked on one of these, so kind of interesting to dig into it. But yeah, I just want to do this real quick. I did take off the 30mm carb. I was having issues with it. It did not like full throttle. This is the original carb. This is the 28. When I first put this carb on, I couldn't give it any gas. The second I opened the throttle, even a millimeter, the bike would just shut off. But I took the pilot out and I put what I put in there, 30 something pilot, I believe. I was just kind of testing some things, and a 125 main jet, I want to say. It fired right up. I can rev it to the moon. I haven't taken it out to test it because the other carb I couldn't really ride it. As soon as I cracked the throttle, it just kind of like lose all its power. I think it was super rich. This one seems to rev a little bit better, so I'll take this out and test it as soon as it gets a little bit nicer out. But yeah, I just wanted to see what she weighed. 174 is the magic number. So it weighs less than I do, I guess. So that's a plus. It's always good when you ride a bike that weighs less than you do. My heater just turned back on, so that's time for me to go inside because I'm not staying out here any longer and I don't need this thing running. But yeah, I just wanted to show off that bike and then show you how this thing hasn't ran in probably 5 days and it fires right up, which is pretty good.